This is Far Cry 4, Condensed. The main character of this story is Ajay Gale. Ajay is traveling to Kyrat, his mom's homeland, to rest her remains next to her daughter. Unfortunately for Ajay, Kyrat is in the middle of a civil war and he's about to be swept up in the conflict. While Ajay's riding a bus with a few rebel soldiers, the royal army stops the vehicle. When the rebels try to escape, the royal army fires upon them and then they shoot the bus. As Ajay is held at gunpoint, Pagan Min, the grand ruler of Kyrat, makes his entrance.
Yes, stop the bus. Not shoot the bus. I'm very particular with my words.
Enraged at the soldier who started the shootout, putting Ajay's life at risk, Pagan stabs the soldier to death. Ajay is not familiar with Pagan Min at all, but Pagan greets him like an old friend. Ajay is brought to a dinner party with Pagan and Pagan's third in command, Paul. Darpan, Ajay's travel guide, was also brought along against his will. In this tense meeting, Pagan says that he and Ajay's mom were deeply in love. Sadly, their romantic affair ended when Ajay's mom fled to the USA while Ajay was still a baby. Just to be clear, Pagan is not related to Ajay in any way, but he still treats him as his son, in his own strange way. While he's talking, Pagan notices that Darpan was discreetly texting someone for help. Since Darpan is working with the Golden Path, the rebel group fighting against Pagan and his royal army, Pagan and Paul decide to torture him for intel. Pagan tells Ajay to stay at the table and enjoy the food before going off to deal with Darpan. But Ajay isn't going to stay, he looks for a way out. On his way to leave the compound, Ajay bumps into Sabal, one of the leaders of the Golden Path.
I knew your father. We're here to rescue you, son of Mohan.
Ajay is kind of a big deal to the Golden Path because his dad, Mohan Gale, who's been dead for quite some time, was the founder of the Golden Path. With Sabal, Ajay helps the Golden Path fight off the royal army. Ajay is taken to a safe village where he meets the other leader of the Golden Path, Amita.
We're at war. We keep losing soldiers, the work keeps piling up.
The girl accompanying Amita is Bhadra, whom the Kirati people believe is the next Tarumatara, the living incarnation of their goddess, Kyrat. Initially, Ajay is somewhat reluctant about joining the Golden Path, but he slowly comes to support their cause. Pagan is well aware that Ajay is working with the Golden Path, his sworn enemies, but he holds no grudge whatsoever. He regularly talks to Ajay through the radio, as if everything is fine and dandy.
RJ? Yes?
Awesome. Oh, just making sure you've been listening.
Sabal and Amita are constantly butting heads over how to lead the Golden Path. Sabal respects Kirati tradition and wants to preserve the old ways. But Amita is the opposite. She thinks Kirat's old ways are outdated and foolish. Not only are their ideals completely different, they often argue over their military strategies. For the first mission, Sabal wants to save the Golden Path soldiers who are being held hostage, whereas Amita thinks it's better to focus on securing valuable intel. Whoever Ajay decides to support does make a difference on how certain missions play out, but the main story won't be affected until a later mission when he has to make a definitive choice on who to side with. After completing the mission, whether it's rescuing the hostages or gathering the intel, Ajay goes to meet Bhadra at a funeral site.
Do you think my father's funeral was like this?
I was too young, but I know his death broke the Golden Path.
Bhadra mentions that Ajay's dad was murdered in his own house a long time ago, prompting him to go investigate. At his parents' old house, Ajay finds two druggies, Yogi and Reggie, and they've made themselves at home. They drug Ajay and take him over to the Shanath arena, where he's forced to fight for his life. Against the odds, he fights through waves of enemies and comes out victorious. Ajay talks with Noor, the woman who's running the arena. Noor explains that Paula is holding her family hostage, forcing her to work for a pagan. She needs Ajay's help to eliminate Paul and save her family.
Take it easy on Reggie and Yogi. They're being played, just like you and I.
Returning to the Gale homestead, Ajay kicks Yogi and Reggie out of the house, but they just camp out right next to it. After helping secure weapons for the Golden Path, Ajay returns to Amita and Sabal, where he is again faced with a choice. They have received word about an opium plantation that's about to make a shipment. Sabal wants the plantation destroyed, but Amita argues they can profit from it. Whoever he chooses to support, either way, Ajay secures the plantation for the Golden Path. Ajay returns to Noor, and she's really stressed out. She found out that Paul is leaving Kyrat for a while, so her family might be executed. So Ajay sneaks into Paul's stronghold and takes him captive. While driving off with Paul in the trunk, Paul reveals that Noor's family was already killed off a while ago. Ajay has the choice to either kill him on the spot or hand him over to the Golden Path for interrogation. After helping the Golden Path secure or destroy a drug factory, Ajay is ordered to eliminate Noor. At Noor's arena, Ajay can shoot her right away, but if he chooses not to, he proceeds to tell her that her family is already dead. Having nothing left to live for, Noor lets herself fall into the arena, letting the animals consume her. Ajay meets a CIA agent named Willis Huntley, the same Willis from Far Cry 3. Willis instructs Ajay to take out a few Royal Army commanders. In exchange, he offers to give information on Ajay's parents. Once all the men are killed, Willis reveals that Ajay has been eliminating CIA assets, effectively erasing the CIA's involvement in Kyrat. Willis then leaves Ajay in the mountains, where Ajay is swiftly knocked unconscious by a Royal Army soldier. Ajay wakes up in Dragesh, a prison camp, where Pagan and his second-in-command, Yuma, are keeping an eye on him.
Whatever, you've seen him. He's still breathing. Now go away, I've got work to do.
Fine. But I want him alive, with all the bits that count intact.
When Pagan and Yuma leave, Ajay takes the opportunity to escape. He does make it out, but nearly freezes to death. Fortunately, he is found by either Amita or Sabal. The next order of business is to help the Golden Path move into northern Kyrat. Once that's done with, Ajay heads to the village of Utkarsh to join up with the Golden Path soldiers in the area. While Ajay meets with the allies inside the basement of a house, Pagan enters the house and talks with the homeowners, after which he has his soldiers kill them. As Pagan drives off, Ajay takes the chance to chase after him and take him out. When he gets to him, Ajay finds out that the Pagan he killed wasn't the real one, but a body double. Pagan makes a public broadcast, during which he discloses Yuma's location, basically inviting the Golden Path to hunt her down. Like usual, Ajay is the one that single-handedly takes on this task. When he finds the mine where Yuma is holed up in, Ajay gets drugged by her. Even while he's tripping like crazy, Ajay manages to overpower Yuma and take her down. With Yuma dealt with, Ajay goes to see Bhadra, who's conflicted because of Amita and Sabal. The Golden Path's next big target is Jalandu Temple, and whoever leads the charge will become the undisputed leader of the Golden Path. Amita wants to destroy Jalandu Temple, which she believes will help Kyrat move past its outdated traditions, like child marriage. But Sabal, of course, wants to protect the temple, where he intends to make Bhadra the Tarun Matara. So Ajay either helps Amita destroy the temple, or supports Sabal in defending it. Following this, Ajay helps repel an attack on Utkarsh. Once that's resolved, whoever is leading the Golden Path, either Amita or Sabal, will ask Ajay to kill the other. Ajay doesn't actually have to kill the opposing leader, he can choose to let them go, and they will simply leave and abandon their quest for power. So Amita or Sabal are killed or let go. Whatever the case, it's time for the Golden Path to invade Pagan's main fortress. As the rebels capture the base, Ajay is given the honor of destroying Pagan's gold statue, so it's time for Ajay to finally confront Pagan inside the royal palace. Ajay barges into the dining room where Pagan has prepared dinner for the both of them.
To whom am I speaking? The son who returned to scatter his mother's ashes, or the lunatic who has murdered his way to the top of my mountain?
Pagan presents Ajay with two options: shoot him, which is boring, or spare him so they can lay Ajay's mom to rest together. If Ajay shoots him, the game ends right then and there. Anticlimactic, to say the least. If Pagan is spared, he will begin talking. He explains that he had planned to hand over his rulership to Ajay from the start, basically saying that supporting the Golden Path was kinda pointless. The two of them go outside, and Pagan reveals that Ajay's dad murdered Lakshmana, the daughter Pagan had with Ajay's mom. In response, Ajay's mom killed his dad before fleeing to America. In the end, the loss of his daughter and the departure of the love of his life turned Pagan into the violent, brutal dictator he is now. Ajay enters Lakshmana's shrine and lays his mom's ashes to rest, back with her daughter like she wanted. Pagan shares some final words for Ajay before flying away in his helicopter.
I've given you Kyrat, but I'm keeping the helicopter.
The funny thing is, Ajay has another chance to kill Pagan by shooting the helicopter, but that's optional. Anyhow, the main game is complete at this point, but we can check in on how Amita or Sabal are running things. If Amita is in charge, she will start forcibly taking children from their families to train them as soldiers and workers for the opium fields. Amita sent Bhadra away, stating that she won't be coming back, implying that Bhadra is either in exile or she's dead. So maybe Amita isn't the best leader for Kyrat, but Sabal isn't much better. If Sabal is the leader, he will start executing everyone who supported Amita. In line with Kyrati religious tradition, Bhadra becomes the Tarun Matara, whether she wants to or not. If it wasn't hinted at before, Sabal shows his true colors as a violent religious extremist. In short, both Amita and Sabal are pretty awful leaders for Kyrat. But what if I told you that there is a much better resolution to this story? Let's rewind back to the start of the game, when Pagan leaves Ajay at the dining table to deal with some business.
Please, stay right here. Enjoy the crab rangoon. Don't move. I will be right back.
If Ajay waits at the table, Pagan will come back after about 15 minutes, happy to see that Ajay actually stayed. Pagan takes Ajay directly to Lakshmana's shrine and fills him in on the family drama. Isn't that nice? Instead of getting caught up with the Golden Path's BS, Ajay gets to lay his mom to rest straight away. Leaving the shrine, Ajay joins Pagan back onto the helicopter, then boom, the story ends. We can assume that after spending some quality time with Pagan, Ajay eventually becomes the ruler of Kyrat and he makes some positive changes for the country. That's my headcanon at least. Anyway, that's it. That was Far Cry 4 Condensed. Thanks for watching.